Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another
VanChat Tuesday.
Yay. And this one, because it is next week our 1 year Vaniversary.
Yes. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. We thought we'd tell you the 10 things that we decided we don't need any more in the van.
We don't need any more in the van.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't need, by any stretch of the imagination, a cordless jigsaw.
No,
I
John.
thought it would just be, something that would be needed.
Yeah. I can see
So
why.
I carried that around with us for
Ever.
9 months.
Yeah. Yeah, cordless jigsaw, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because that probably weighs a bit as well, doesn't it?
Well, there is that, and the batteries for it and everything else as well. Yeah. Never mind.
Oh dear. Oh, my favourite, and I've had the mickey ripped out of me so much for this. Side plates.
Side plates. Definitely an absolute must for all van lifers.
Yeah.
Especially heavy glass ones that Mandy decided to buy.
Yes, I splashed out big style. Big style.
Oh yeah, no, I paid.
No, I paid.
Did you?
I had a job then.
Oh, back in the day.
Oh, I know.
Work wanker.
Anyway, I splashed out on some very nice Corel diningware, which is pressed glass diningware, and it's supposed to be shatterproof.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be brilliant for in the van.
Not that we ever tested it.
No, so I actually binned our very, very useful and well-used melamine stuff and got this Corel stuff, which weighed more.
A lot more.
And had side plates. And I'm just like, oh, do you need a side plate? If we ever had like Tash and John round in the van or Daz or whatever, and they were like, side plates? You've got side plates? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We don't need side plates.
No. I also don't need to carry around a spare inverter.
Well, I did blow up one of them.
Kind of, yeah, but I still had one then, and it wouldn't be that. It's like kind of to power a decent laptop or something like that. So I don't need a spare inverter. Although saying that, quite recently, Lou wanted to borrow my inverter, or wanted an inverter.
And we took it out just before we came away, didn't we?
And I could have had an inverter. But other than that, for us, for our purposes, then no,
we don't need a spare inverter.
No.
And if we did have one, we literally don't need to carry it around with us all the time. No.
Go on then.
My next one, so I have to quick look at my list, is my stovetop coffee maker.
Yeah.
And
at one point, didn't you have... Sorry to interrupt. At one point, didn't you have 5 or 6 ways to make coffee?
Well, if you include the kettle being multifunction ways of making coffee, but yeah, I did, because I've got my Nespresso coffee machine. I have got the kettle for instant coffee. That also is used for my French press. And I also keep little packets of coffee. And then I had my stovetop coffee maker, the one that you put the water in the bottom and then the coffee in it, and then you screw the thingy on the top, and it looks really pretty. And we bought it from Rome, if you remember, when we were there, and it's beautiful.
I do remember, because I remember at the time questioning whether we still needed it because of all the other ways you've got to make coffee. Yeah, but I used that in the
house though, because it was a beautiful way of making coffee. However, because it made of all that fuss, made me 1 cup of coffee.
So, how many ways of making coffee have you got in the van right now?
Right now? 4.
I rest my case.
But it's better. It's better.
Anyway, my next thing that I realised I don't need in the van anymore was a hydraulic cable crimper, so that I could make 50mm cable ends or 16mm cable ends to connect batteries and inverters and to crimp the cable ends up.
You carried that around with you?
I may have carried that around for some months, yeah. Along with lugs, many lugs, like about 100 lugs, because you never know where you wanted to crimp or which cable you wanted to crimp.
Is this the confidence that you had in my cable crimping when you pulled your shoulder out when we first got this van?
Not confidence as such, just the fact that it was there.
You're right then. Yeah. Oh dear. I think my next one is the dish rack.
A dish rack.
And I know that lots of people have these, like a drainer and a pop-up dish rack, so when you're washing the pots you can pop your stuff on. But literally all that did was take up space
and rattle.
Yeah.
That was my fault as well, because I kind of bought that.
Yeah, you actually did buy that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because John doesn't like things not draining properly. considering he doesn't wash the pots.
No, it's just
very strange
easier
this.
to drain them that way, wasn't it? Just seemed a normal thing. Little tray with a metal drainy cross thing you just put on top, and then, yeah, seemed legit to me.
Yeah, and then I went into B&M or something, and Minky have released a drying mat. And it's just like a spongy little thin mat like this that you fold out and you put your pots on it, and it stops everything else underneath from getting wet, and it soaks it up, and it goes in the washing machine once a month. So
And it doesn't rattle.
and it does not rattle, and it takes up hardly any space at all. So yes, folding dish rack and extra spare drainer.
Yeah, for the win. So, this might surprise some of you, but I don't need a NAS drive either. No, I did bring my NAS drive, which, for those of you that don't know, it's a network attached storage drive. So it's like a big hard drive in a box that you attach to your Wi-Fi or network so that you can access all your data wherever you are. And I had one obviously in the house, and it was about 50 terabyte of data on it, and it had all our data on it, like
Yeah,
movies that we'd downloaded and music and
off the DVDs that we already owned.
oh yeah, absolutely,
Of course,
Mhm.
yeah.
Obviously all my YouTube content and photos we'd taken, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously wanted access to that, obviously, 'cause,
Obviously,
why
it's in the
not?
van, why don't you? Yeah.
And obviously my intention was never to leave it powered on, because spinning discs and bouncy motorhome don't mix.
No.
But then obviously there's a bit of waste of power, and it was slow. So after trying it quite a few times, I realised that it really wasn't practical. But the concept was there that we could watch any movie we wanted to, even without the internet, and I could back up all my stuff too.
And it had all of our family photos and stuff on there as
Yeah.
well. So, but we just don't need it with us. I
No.
don't know why. We've got cloud storage anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You banana.
NAS drive just seemed like like we'd need it.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Well, I figured out that considering I'm the only person who drinks hot drinks in this van, that I didn't need to have 7 mugs.
Yeah, that rattle or
Yes.
jingle, jangle.
Jingle jangle.
Yeah, something like that.
I think the worst part of it is that some of my favourite people had given me mugs,
Yes, and
branded stuff.
yeah,
So that was my thing. It was just like, oh, I've got to keep this with us the whole time. Whereas I am a bit fussy. I like a thin mug. I don't like the really thick, chunky ones. So I never used the ones that people gave me anyway. They were just spares for if I needed to make somebody a brew. But then in van life, if anyone comes round, if you just say, do you want a coffee? Normally someone turns up and gives you a cup.
yeah,
They don't expect to use your cups anyway. Nobody I've met yet expects to use my own cup. So yeah, I didn't need all of those extra. So now I have 2.
Just the B ones. Is it?
Yes, me 2 different B ones. That's it.
So my final thing, and you can draw your own conclusions on this one, but we don't need 2 TVs in the van either.
No.
So we didn't need a TV in the bedroom because, there's more things to entertain yourself in a bedroom.
Oh, all right then. Yeah. Or like sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I must admit though, I don't want to say I told you so, but what did I say about the telly in the bedroom?
No idea.
No idea.
No.
It's gone completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing from what I can recall.
Nothing at
No.
all. No. Oh, and my final thing, and it's my final thing because I think if I had a choice of keeping it all together and not keeping it, then I would have made a different choice. But
Okay.
because we had somewhere to store it other than in the van,
Okay.
it made it an easier choice. Is my sewing machine.
Because obviously VanLife sewing machine.
I thought, because I had a set of IKEA 2 fabric drawers, and in there was my sewing machine, loads of fabric, loads of spare needles, all the different coloured threads and bobbins and
It
stuff.
was a sewing machine I'd bought.
Yeah,
that
it was my little dinky one.
mini one.
You've seen it. It's my little
It's like
mini one.
battery powered, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was easy to keep in the van. But with all the fabric that I kept and all the accessories that go with everything that I'd kept, and then obviously I had to fill the top drawer as well with other things as well. And I had some drawing gear,
things.
and I thought I'd do some drawing. And then I had some other things that were easier that were related to sewing. Lots and lots and lots of accessories, zips and elastic and buttons and all of these things. And I've not used it at all, apart from making masks in lockdown. I hadn't used it at all because, taking lockdown aside, I thought that we'd end up pulling up somewhere and I'd be like, right, you know what? I'm going to do some sewing. I'm going to do some drawing. And what I do is I take Cooper for a walk. Or we both go and do things. We go and see things. And I'm not sitting in a van, so it's not the first or the 10th or the 20th thing on my list to do, even though I love having it. So now that's not in the van, but it is in the storage unit because I don't think I could do without it.
At least me getting rid of the telly wasn't an overall loser, because I could like do what we do now, which is drop the tablet from the little skylight window, and then we've got a little tablet
actually it
screen.
works quite well with the tablet case just folds under the thing and we shut the blind on it, don't we? And it does work quite well. I mean, it's a small telly, but we're not reading anything off there anyway, you know. It is just watching telly.
Yeah.
So it's at least we've got that. And you know, I made myself, out of all the things in both my drawers, I made myself a little van safe sewing kit. So I've got some elastic and I've got some buttons and I've got some spares and I've got safety pins and different coloured threads and needles. And
when was the last
things.
time you used them?
A couple of days ago, I had to put a button back on some pants.
Oh, there we go then.
So yeah, not so bad. Not so bad.
So just bear that in mind, obviously, when you work out what it is you want to take with you in your van. Do you really need it? And not about weight or anything like that. Will you use it?
Yeah.
Or will it just fill up a cupboard or fill up a box, storage box, something like that, and then you'll just never bother, and you probably never see it again. It'll just be shoved somewhere else.
I must admit, I mean, that space that was taken up with my sewing machine with that 2-drawer set under my bed, that is now full of pot noodles. I mean...
Oh, crucial then. Wow.
Well, I got to go somewhere.
In the bin. For my
No, in
liking.
the bit. John doesn't like pot noodles. It's so
No.
weird. We've got carbonara ones and the pasta and sauce, the chicken and broccoli. Anyone who's ever been on Slimming World will know that. Sorry, the cheese and broccoli, that they are just epic. They are the best things ever. And mac and cheese, and I keep thinking we should just use them as a side. You know, could just make them up.
You ever notice in all of our videos, even ones about nothing related to food, then you always talk about food. You're making people hungry again. It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning and you've made people hungry.
What, talking about pot noodles? I don't think so.
I bet you at least 2 people have picked up a pot noodle for breakfast. Right.
Good on you.
Sorry for making you hungry. Mind you, at least it's breakfast time. You got a chance.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
Right then. We shall see you soon. Hope you liked this video. Do comment on the silly things that you've taken out of your van that you thought you'd need as well.
Yeah, and how long you carried them around for, and if they weighed a ton and stuff like that. We've had some epic conversations with people before now about what random crazy stuff they thought they needed and carried on in the van for ages.
Yeah. Right then, take care guys, and we'll see you on Thursday.
We will. See you soon. Bye.
Sexy.
I love it.
Do you still fancy me?
Yeah, I think you look gorgeous.